criminal justice system, sexually based offenses are considered especially heinous. The dedicated detectives who investigate these vicious felonies are members of an elite squad known as the Special Victims Unit. These are their stories.
Car was taken to a tow yard in Hollywood, and the employees there said a foul smell was coming from the car. Police discovered decomposing human remains wrapped in a bag that we now know belongs to Rivas. Eyewitness News has learned that she was found wearing a tube top, black leggings, a yellow metal bracelet, and metal stud earrings. She also had a tattoo on her right index finger that said, "Shh." The singer, who has 33 million listeners on Spotify, has not made any public comments about the case, but he is on a world tour and has continued performing throughout this
jury. And in these petitions, David Burke is referred to as the target. They say the target may be involved in having committed the following criminal offenses: 1 count of murder, and that the target may be involved in the death of a 14-year-old victim named Celeste Rivas Hernandez, who may have been a victim of foul play. Hernandez's body was found decomposing inside David Burke's Tesla late last year. That Tesla was parked at a Hollywood tow lot. Now, in these newly unsealed court docs, they also contain some new gruesome and very disturbing details. Not only was the body of Hernandez decomposing, it was also dismembered.
This is a singer named Devon. I don't really know how to pronounce it. I'm not really good at names. But he allegedly murdered this 14-year-old girl that he was on stream with, that he was hanging around. And they found the girl, sadly, in the back of his Tesla, dismantled, brutally murdered. And I don't really know how I feel about it, because I was reading up on it, doing my research on it, and everybody was confused about the case. And I'm kind of a little bit confused, but I'm going to let y'all see him getting arrested, and I'm going to let y'all see TMZ speaking of it, because they was talking about how that they had 5 months of evidence on him to prove that he did it, but somehow it's just very confusing, and y'all just have to watch the clip. Then I'm gonna tell you my opinion at the end, because I do think something, but I can't assume people. So yeah.
It's gonna obscure my view from the gate. If you try to run or you try to resist, you will get hit with my feet or it's gonna hurt. I got you. If you try to run, we have canine on premises and you will get bit. I got you. Alright, so the gate is locked. You want to open the gate? Sir? Open the gate.
Problem in the prosecution's case against David the singer. Well, let me explain. The grand jury has been hearing this case for 5 months, since November. Beth Silverman, the DA, has been presenting witness after witness after witness to this grand jury to get a grand jury indictment. We know that there has been a dogfight between the DA's office and the medical examiner over cause of death, that we are told, and have been told for a long time after Celeste Rivas' body was found, that they were having a very difficult time establishing cause of death. And that is an issue here. But then the question, if Beth Silverman was before that grand jury for 5 months with the end goal of getting an indictment for murder, why did the police arrest David yesterday and then say they're going to present the case to the DA on Monday so that the DA can determine whether to file formal charges or not? That makes absolutely no sense, because it was the grand jury that was supposed to indict here and not the DA just charging him. If the DA wanted to charge, what was the point of a grand jury? So what happened at the grand jury so that they either didn't indict him, that she never asked the grand jury to actually indict, or did the grand jury issue a no bill, which means they rejected the case? I don't think they would have rejected the case outright, although I don't know. But the only other option is that Beth Silverman never asked for a formal indictment after presenting evidence for 5 months before the grand jury. So why? And the police say, we're going to present the case to the DA. The DA's had the case for 5 months. What do you mean present the case? That makes no sense when you listen to what the police are saying. The DA has had this case. They're the ones that made the decision to go to the grand jury. So why?
CSI, and in past videos about this case, I said that it's my opinion, based on everything, that there's 2 main ways that Celeste could have died. Number 1, strangulation. Number 2, drug overdose. But reading between the lines of what the police have been saying, it's very clear to me that they are leaning strongly towards overdose. We've been talking about toxicology in this case since it popped off, and police just came out and said, once again, that the medical examiner is awaiting toxicology results, which is what they would need to determine if she died from a drug overdose. Again, those typically take about 8 weeks, and we're still probably about a month out from getting those tox results, which would show what drugs, if any, she had in her system when she died and at what level. It's also interesting that the police have said it's unclear whether there's any criminal culpability beyond just concealment of her body, which really supports what we've already thought. There's no overt signs of trauma. They didn't find anything criminal in the house, and the only weird thing is there's a dead girl in your car. When the toxicology results come back, if she had lethal amounts of any drug in her system, what's going to happen? Well, most likely is that her cause of death will be updated to toxicity of whatever substance it was that led to her death, and the manner would likely change to either accidental or remain undetermined. So if, for example, you die because you have too much Fenty in your system, that's almost always going to be accidental, because people take that drug with the intention of getting high and not usually dying. If, however, you have toxic levels of some sort of prescription sedative, for example, you might have taken them to get high, or you might have taken it to intentionally end your life, and then police don't really have a way to know which one it is. The medical examiner's not going to have a way to know which one it is, so they just have to choose randomly between accident and suicide, which they're not going to do. So the manner of death remains undetermined. Just a reminder, if you're a 20-year-old singer, R&B star, celebrity, whatever he is, and you have a contract, it's not going to look very good for you, and your record label's probably not going to like the fact that you call police, you call 911 and say, hey, there's a 13 or 14-year-old girl ODing in my house. That's going to be a big problem. So that might be a reason that you would not call police.
So watching all that, I want y'all to pay attention right here, because he a singer, and look what he's saying when he's singing. And then you go to the Genius thing, you hear what he says. He was like, oh, it's just, you can take it anyway. But, that's a weird thing to be saying in your songs and projecting it into the universe and putting that out there. And all of a sudden, some girl random die, that's a little bit weird, if you ask me, in a spiritual sense, that give very much warlock vibes. But hey, but I believe that, I do believe if they found some drugs in her system, the girl probably did OD in that boy house, and he probably was scared that, he was going to lose his career, so he probably just hid the body in the Tesla car, because she probably was already dead, and he probably just got scared and didn't know what to do, honestly. So his best option is try to hide it, and that won't get far. Then on top of that, nobody gonna talk about him dating or having any type of relationship with this 14-year-old girl, and this girl is 14 and he is over 20. He's 20 years old, 21 years old. Why is he around a 14-year-old? Where is this 14-year-old girl's mama and daddy? Like, what is going on in this world? Where are these people's parents at? This is a very sad case, and saying, R.I.P. to her, may her rest in peace. And do I believe he did it? I don't know, because he did get arrested a day ago, so that's crazy. So he maybe did do it. But on top of that, let's talk about why is Kyle wearing one of his signature outfits, I guess, to some Paris and fashion. Like, what's going on with Kyle? I might do a video on that later. Tino Shade. Because he is taking a lot of people allowance away from him. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you like and subscribe. I'm giving out loves and kisses. And bye.